The outline of my presentation includes graph theoretic quantum system modeling in continuum of microtubules in the brain as hierarchical clustered quantum Hopfield network, graph theoretic representation of tunneling interactions and Coulombic bidirectional interactions in hierarchical clustered quantum Hopfield networks, unique insight into computation of Hamiltonian Lyapunov energy function. Graph theoretic quantum system modeling is facilitated by considering the fundamental unit of quantum computation and information, namely a qubit, as a basic building block. The present work extends it further in the context of neuronal microtubules as hierarchical clustered quantum Hopfield networks. A qubit can be in a linear combination or superposition of two computational basis complex vector states, which are ket0 and ket1, and they can be represented by the equation ket psi is equal to delta ket0 plus gamma ket1, where delta and gamma are complex numbers, and mod delta square is the probability of qubits of information computation data flow rate along unit directional vector ket0, and mod gamma square is the probability of information computation data flow rate along unit directional vector ket1. And also the sum of mod delta square plus mod gamma square is equal to 1. The figure that you see here is a quantum terminal graph, which is a combination of two parts, where A1 prime denotes the ket0 part and B1 prime denotes the ket1 part. Penrose and Hameroff describe microtubules as self-assembling polymers of the peanut-shaped protein dimer tubulin, each tubulin heterodimer molecule being composed of an alpha and beta monomer, and is a polar molecule with its positive end near the beta subunit. Typically, 13 linear tubulin chains align side to side to form hollow microtubule cylinders with two types of hexagonal lattices, A and B. Since there are at least 32 states, that is 5 bits of information per tubulin dimer molecule and 13 dimers per each ring of microtubule cylinder with 1,250 rings per mid-sized microtubule, the resulting information storage capacity is approximately 10 kilobytes per microtubule. Given 10,000 microtubules per neuron, it represents 100 megabytes of processing power per neuron, which translates into a total information storage capacity of human brain of 10 exabytes. Penrose and Hameroff estimate approximately 10 to the power 8 tubulins in each neuron, which switch and oscillate in the range of 10 to the power 7 per second. This gives an information capacity as the single cell value at the microtubule level of 10 to the power 15 operations per second per neuron. The total brain capacity would thus potentially translate at the microtubule level as 10 to the power 26 operations per second in comparison to the earlier estimates of artificial neural networks for the information processing capacity of the entire brain of 10 to the power 16 operations per second at the level of neurons, synapses, and their transmission rate per second. If each tubulin dimer functions as a quantum bit and not a classical bit processor, the computational power becomes almost unimaginably vast. It has been claimed that as few as 300 quantum bits have the same computational power as a hypothetical classical computer comprised of as many processing units as there are particles in the universe. This is the structure of a microtubule and the arrangement of its tubulins. Here if you see, the side view and the top view of the microtubule has been shown. Microtubule is a long hollow cylinder which has a diameter of nearly 25 nanometers, and its length varies in the range of 250 nanometers to 25,000 nanometers. And for a mid-sized dimer, the length is about 10,000 nanometers. Hopfield networks are standard feedback neural networks and introduce the concept of information storage in the stable states of dynamical systems. A quantum Hopfield network has an enormously expanded range of states, as the qubits can exist in any superposition of the two states. Berman and others, and Tredok among others, have modeled microtubule as quantum Hopfield network. Quantum mechanically, the model allows the electron to tunnel through the potential barrier, allowing transitions for which the system's energy is lowered even if the electron does not possess the necessary energy to overcome the potential barrier. Dynamics of the system are determined by the minimization of the overall energy associated with electrostatic interactions between neighboring electrons as well as the thermal effects. An extremely simplified model of tubular dimers in microtubule protein assemblies is used, representing each tubular molecule by a qubit, a single quantum two-state system, which interact via Coulomb forces at finite temperature. The Hamiltonian or energy function operator for each qubit J is an array of n qubits representing a microtubule as a quantum Hopfield network, and it is given by the equation H is equal to summation Hj, where J varies from 1 to n, which is equivalent to summation K sigma xj plus A sigma zj, where J varies from 1 to n. Sigma x and sigma z are the poly x and z matrices respectively, and K is the flipping amplitude. A is half the energy difference between the two states measured in sigma z, which are +1 and -1. Conventional Hopfield neural network is a model of an associative content addressable memory storing information in its discrete version as stable states ±1 of n, classical binary neurons which converge to 2 to the power n corners of an n-dimensional box. Hopfield neural networks from an initial to final steady state are globally asymptotically stable, and the stable states are the minima by which the Lyapunov function of the system becomes smaller and eventually achieves a local minimum at the stable state. This stable state is a pattern that is recalled by the network as its final state. Professor Nancy Wolf and others have proposed 5 hierarchical levels of neural interaction. Microtubules spread among 13 to 23 billion neurons in the human cortex of the estimated 100 billion neurons in the brain. The first level of neural interaction would include quantum entanglement among approximately 10 to the power 4 tubulins of the same microtubule in any one of 10 to the power 15 possible clusters. Since this level of neural interaction is between closely interacting particles, the degree or density of entanglement is likely to be high, as reflected by the strength alpha-1 of Coulombic bidirectional interaction process between the same discretization points I for each pair of different qubits J1 and J1 prime at the first clustered level. The second level of neural interaction would involve entanglement between pairs of microtubulins, each drawn from approximately 10 to the power 4 different microtubules in the same neuron in any one of 10 to the power 15 possible clusters. This degree of entanglement would be somewhat less than that of tubulins in the same microtubule, as reflected by strength alpha-2 much less than alpha-1 of Coulombic bidirectional interaction process at this second clustered level. The third level of neural interaction would involve entanglement between pairs of microtubulins, each drawn from approximately 10 to the power 3 different microtubules belonging to different neurons in the same modules in any one of 10 to the power 16 possible clusters. This degree of entanglement at the third clustered level would be expected to be less than that of turbulence in the different microtubules of the neuron at the second clustered level as reflected by alpha 3 much less than alpha 2. The fourth level of neural interaction would involve entanglement within highly interconnected cortical areas involving 10 to the power 7 different neurons in any one of 10 to the power 12 possible clusters. Entanglement can occur over long distances when there is a classical channel of information. For example, axonal connectivity between cortical areas or electromagnetic energy flow from one brain region to another and a pre-existing entanglement. Qubits performing local operations can even send information to entangled qubits over long distances via classical channels as in quantum teleportation. This degree of entanglement might be expected to be medium to strong as reflected by alpha 4 less than alpha 3 at the fourth clustered level. The fifth level of neural interaction would involve entanglement among cortical areas having few or no axonal connections involving 10 to the power 10 different neurons in any one of 10 to the power 9 possible clusters. Brain-wide entanglement might occur in a manner predicted by Bell's theorem, stating that whenever a quantum measurement is made on one part of a holistic quantum system, this degree of entanglement would be weakest, thereby allowing for greater flexibility in brain response, as reflected by the strengths of Coulombic bidirectional interaction processes at the various clustered levels of hierarchy. Alpha 5 less than alpha 4 less than alpha 3 less than alpha 2 less than alpha 1. Once the hierarchical quantum Hopfield network at clustered level L with L varying as L equal to 0 or L equal to 1 to 5 is discretized to discretization number n, it can be viewed as consisting of n sub L n information processing subunits corresponding to n sub L qubits of tubular molecule at clustered level n, which converge to 2 to the power n sub L n corners of an n sub L n dimensional box on the basis of brain-wide entanglement in M sub L clusters. Now, why does quantum entanglement only occur in neuronal microtubules? So the answer to it is that microtubules are self-assembling polymers of the protein tubulin. Non-neuronal cells divide repeatedly and recycle tubulins for mitotic spindle microtubules. But neurons don't divide. Their microtubules remaining polymerized for the life of the cell. Therefore they are suitable for information encoding, memory and consciousness. Quantum tunneling interaction processes are modeled for each qubit J0 propagating in imaginary time between quantum input ports representing discretization points I and I plus 1 in a loop from 0 to beta as I is incremented progressively from 1 to n as shown in figure 3a. So in this figure, the tunneling process for a single qubit has been shown between two discretization points I and I plus 1. And it is a 3-port process. As you can see, there are 2 quantum input-output ports and 1 classical output port, which is the microenergy function accumulator. Coulombic bidirectional interaction processes between the same discretization points I for each pair of different qubits JL and JL prime with a strength of alpha are modeled by a block diagram representation shown in figure 3b. So this is the figure which shows it, and since it is a two-way interaction, therefore the energy becomes 2A in this case. Hierarchical clustered quantum Hopfield network system schematic is shown in figure 4 as parallel and cascade interconnections of constituent transfer function operator blocks between quantum input-output ports together with parallel interconnections at the common classical output port marked as RR'. Hierarchical clustered quantum Hopfield network system graph is represented by figure 5a portraying interconnections between quantum input-output ports, while figure 5b, which I will be showing after this, shows parallel interconnections at the common classical output port for accumulating Hamiltonian microenergy functions at multiple levels. So in this figure, the interconnections among the sigma x blocks are in cascade with each other. So all these sigma x blocks are in cascade with each other, whereas the interconnections among the sigma z blocks are also in cascade with each other. But the interconnections between the sigma x blocks and the sigma z blocks are in parallel with each other. So I will be reflecting upon this slightly later, but since the slide is shown right here, so I'll just tell you one more thing which can be seen in this figure, that if you look at the left hand side of the figure, rather the bottom left hand part of the figure, you see that the sigma x block on top has its outputs connected to the sigma x block at the bottom, or rather we can say that the outputs of the sigma x block at top are connected to the inputs of the sigma x block, which is shown below it. So that's why we are saying that they are in cascade with each other, because the output of one block of sigma x is connected to the input of the other block of sigma x. And if you look at the right hand side of the figure, again the bottom part of it, you can see that there is a parallel connection between the sigma x block and the sigma z block, because their inputs are connected to each other and their outputs are also connected to each other. So that is the reason why they are in parallel with each other. Now this is figure 5b, which I had spoken about earlier. In this figure, the upper portion of the graph shows the tunneling microenergy functions at each level, and the lower portion of the graph shows Coulombic interaction microenergy functions at each level. As an illustration with reference to system schematic in figure 4 and system graph in figure 5a, consider the quantum subsystem graph showing cascade interconnection between quantum input port I+1 equal to n of sigma x block with quantum input port I equal to n-1 of qubit J1, JL at level L with the quantum input port n of sigma x block of the same qubit JL at level L as redrawn in figure 6a for the sake of clarity, such that output port terminal graph is in dotted lines and input terminal graph is in continuous lines. So this can be seen in figure 6a, and also the quantum subsystem graph vertex equation and the quantum subsystem graph circuit equations are shown on this slide. As another illustration with reference to system schematic in figure 4 and system graph in figure 5a, consider the quantum subsystem graph showing parallel interconnection of quantum input port n+1 of sigma x block having quantum output port n of qubit JL prime not equal to JL at level L with the quantum input port n+1 of sigma z block having the same quantum output port n+1 but of different qubit JL as redrawn in figure 6b for the sake of clarity, together with its equivalent two-port representation of quantum input port n+1 of qubit JL prime as shown in figure 6c, invoking multi-terminal port representation technique of graph theory. Again, the quantum subsystem graph vertex equation and circuit equations are shown on this slide. So this is figure 6c, which shows the equivalent quantum two-port representation of quantum subsystem graph of figure 6b. Now the conclusions. The work presented here operationalizes the construction of graph-theoretic quantum system model for hierarchical clustered component to subsystem to system level aggregation procedure. It is verily a system of systems. It may be observed that the graph-theoretic quantum system modeling is applied as a further generalization in continuum of protein heterodimer tubular molecules of self-assembling polymers, namely microtubules, with brain as a holistic system of systems representing quantum Hopfield network at 5 levels of hierarchy, each in multiple clusters. The grand total of microtubules involved at any instant on the basis of brain-wide entanglements may be quite large as a holistic system of directly and indirectly interacting parts, but the grand scheme is expected to have an essential self-defining architecture at the aforesaid 5 clustered levels of hierarchy. Furthermore, quantum theoretic model is essentially a linear probabilistic model in which measurement results in disappearance of superposition of probable states, that is in non-linearity. With the collapse of the measured quantum state into one of the probable states, that is a classical state. Accordingly, post-measurement, the linear probabilistic quantum model may be viewed as giving rise to a system of systems, each characterized by a linear probabilistic quantum system model. The main challenge in the design of controllers has been successfully met for the quantum system of systems for hierarchical clustered quantum Hopfield networks analytically. Thus, it is at the higher end of complexity scale that the graph-theoretic quantum system modeling might possibly hold even greater promise and potential for modeling extremely complex systems successfully in future. The resulting Hamiltonian energy function for the simplest possible quantum Hopfield network, considering n sub L qubits, each with n discretization points propagating in imaginary time over 0 to beta, is given by the expression 2, which is shown on this slide. Berman and others validate this Hamiltonian or Lyapunov energy function considering quantum Hopfield network as an information propagator for a microtubule architecture with published data H sub HQHN has been tested by us for a hypothetical example of NL equal to 3 qubits and N equal to 4 discretization points. It can also be used for any number of qubits, that is NL qubits, and any number of discretization points N. The steps that are followed are, the steps that were followed rather, are given here in this slide. And the sample MATLAB output was as follows. The tunneling energy function was given as H1, which was equal to 4 minus 4 minus Z by beta, and H2 is given by the expression shown over here. Then the total of H1 and H2 has also been shown here. So these were the results that were obtained by the MATLAB simulation which was carried out. Thank you very much. These are the references.
So the classical Hopfield model is considered to be a, one of the reasons that it is considered to be a good model of the brain, because it has these basins of attraction that can keep the classical memory. Now if you quantize it, between these different basins of attraction there can be quantum effects. In particular there can be tunneling, and that can lead to losing of the memory. Is that a concern, or that can be handled?
I think it is being handled in this because we are considering the tunneling effects as well as the Coulombic, bidirectional Coulombic interactions which are taking place. So it is being handled.